Not just feeding people stomachs, you're feeding dignity. How do you think
Mhm.
barbecue gives people hope in ways words can't sometimes?
Yeah, and that's something that we pride ourselves on. There's not much I say I have pride on, but we offer our best quality food to everybody. I had a lady today that was writing an article about something we're doing, and she's, "You mean you just put brisket in the food pantry?" I'm like, "Heck yeah." And she's, "Wait a minute, isn't brisket like 6.99 a pound right now?" I'm like, "Yep." And I spent 24 hours cooking it, and I put $20 a seat to go through the whole thing. And she's like, "Nobody else does that." And I said, "Exactly. That's what sets us apart from anybody else. We're offering our best."
They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. Get your barbecue on. Get your barbecue.
Ever notice how the sound of sizzling meat and the smell of smoke can silence the noise of the world? Now that's barbecue therapy. If the fire moves you, like, subscribe, share, and help spread the message because growth, like good barbecue, takes time and patience. Welcome to your therapy session. Welcome to the Barbecue Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant, and today we're talking about more than barbecue. We're talking about purpose through pain, grace through grit, and how one man turned a smoker into a ministry. My guest is Pastor Jordan Davis, the founder of the Smoking Pastor Project, a movement that feeds the body and the soul. He's given away free food, brought hope to strangers, and lived through a test that would have broken most folks. Jordan, welcome to Barbecue Therapy. I got one rule: make yourself at home.
All right. Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited.
And the first question I got for you, let's take it back. From what I heard, you were originally from Texas, correct?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Kentucky, and then we moved from a little podunk town in eastern Kentucky to Houston, Texas. So
Okay.
big time culture shock. I lived there for a while, and man, my dad worked for Shell Oil there, and so we were there for a while, and then moved back to Kentucky, and then I moved to Oklahoma. I've been all around, but that Texas barbecue route took early phase in my life.
And you're in Indiana right now, connect?
I'm just on the north side of Indianapolis.
How did you end up in Indianapolis?
Church, man, God, only God. We were in Oklahoma City, and I was not at a church. I've been a kids pastor 20 years, and I was not at a church, and I was just working, helping a friend do some construction stuff. And this church kept calling and calling, and I kept hanging up on them, didn't want anything to do. And man, God had other plans. And about 6 months later, I found myself in Indianapolis. So it's the way God works.
How did that conversation go with the wife?
She said, "But we're very comfortable here." And I said, "Yeah, but our whole lives, God has allowed us not to be comfortable." And here we are again. That's like segues to today.
When you were growing up, did you barbecue a lot or did your family barbecue? How did you learn?
We ate a heck of a lot of barbecue. We ate, that was like our Sunday thing. I
Mm.
could name you restaurant after restaurant. Katy, Texas, man, that was our Sunday spots, going to barbecue. And then my dad did a lot of grilling. And he always made this barbecue sauce that we all love. I still cannot perfect it to this day. He just makes it better than me. But it's like not a sauce I could ever bottle. Like we bottle sauce, we sell sauce, but it's got sauteed onions in it, like big
Oh,
chunks of
wow.
sauteed onions. Really good on chicken, really good on chicken. And it's one of those things like you can never bottle it, but man, it's good homemade sauce. And it just that was like our way to connect in my family. My dad, super big engineer. I'm not that smart of a dude. And so like we always try to figure out like where we could bond. And so a lot of it was through outdoor cooking. And then my mom, same way, just always cooked. And so cooking was in me very early. And then it moved into barbecue and then went away for a little bit. And I found myself, man, shoot, even 9 years ago, I don't think I owned a smoker or a grill.
Oh, wow.
And then came back about 8 years ago. So
Then once you joined the church, were you cooking for the church? How did you get back into it?
yeah, started cooking for the church. I bought, man, so not let's see, 8 years ago, I bought a smoker on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, man, I gotta get back into this. And bought a smoker on Marketplace, started cooking food, and at the church, started doing a lot at the church. And then that evolved into two smokers, three smokers, five smokers, nine smokers at one point is what I had in my backyard. And it was just feeding people. And my wife's, man, this could be a cool business, maybe a little side hustle during COVID, especially like everybody's trying to find that side hustle. And man, I just started giving it away. I'm like, man, I'm not a business mind. I don't want to make money. I want to make people happy. I want to craft smiles one bite at a time. That's what we do.
Hmm.
And I started posting videos. And then those videos just have taken off. And I spent some time in the hospital with COVID and really reevaluated what I was doing, my purpose. for life, and found that video sequence is what God was really using to just proclaim his name to the public.
And you were a youth pastor?
Kids, man, children. So birth through third grade is what I've done for 20 years.
Wow. And the whole time,
Like,
how long were you a youth pastor?
so 20 years, 21 years this year. So I'm still technically full time until March. March. So I'm stair stepping down out of my full time role right now and moving into this nonprofit world.
Oh, wow. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So when the food truck, I guess, did you still try to sell as well as give away, or did you
We we
try?
tried to run the food truck as a free food truck was the plan. About a year and a half ago, we were given a free food truck and to work, we're going to pay it off over time. And Labor Day weekend last year, the whole truck was gone. $130,000 food trailer, as
Yes.
what it was estimated at, was totally stolen. And man, I thought like that was gonna be the moment. One, it got me some publicity. I thought, man, this is gonna be the moment where this thing takes off. God's gonna give me like all this money and we're gonna be able to just roll.
Mhm.
And nothing happened. Nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute. God used all things for glory. What's the deal? But what happened is, in hindsight now, you always realize what the real story is years down the road. But a year later, the free food events was what got the vision off the ground for me.
Mhm.
That's not the thing. And so I really wrestled for the last like year of what is the thing? What are we supposed to be doing? What's this look like? And one day I'm in a group with some guys and they're like, Jordan, like if you could just dream big, what would you do? And I said, I want to be the largest producer of fully cooked prepackaged meat for food pantries. And they're like, where did that come from? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but that's the thing. And so the food trailer getting stolen really opened that door to where I figured out the thing. Everything else was just a why or a how of how we got started. But this is the thing that's driving what we're doing at the Smoke and Pasture Project.
When did it stop being a hobby and start becoming something holy? When did you realize that fire wasn't just cooking, it was changing people's lives?
I think the first event I did where I actually took a smoker to the public and realized all these dudes that were pretty messed up guys would gather around a smoker and hang out and be vulnerable, oh, have good conversations. And I'm like, there's something here. And so that's when I started getting into the barbecue competition kind of world a little bit of, hey, what's it look like for me to be able to be this light in this dark community?
Mhm. What I love about your story, it wasn't about business first. You woke up thinking, okay, let's serve people. And
Yeah.
tell me about that mindset, feeding people with zero expectation in return, because everybody can't do that. I mean, it and
No,
people look at you probably like
no.
you're
And
crazy.
yeah, and even people ask me a lot, like, how do I do that? You've got to make sure your motives are right. You just got to be careful. You got to realize that you're gonna get taken advantage of, and that's okay. If your heart's in at the right spot, people. I just planned. Obviously, we're in a time right now where there's lots of things happening in our nation. No matter where
Mhm.
you're at, I'm getting asked to do a lot of events, and people are like, "How are you going to make sure those people really need it?" I'm not. We're just going to put food on the table and not ask any questions. And so some people are like, if you can't get over that, you're not going to be happy because you will get taken advantage of. But I think for me, realizing that I'm nothing. God's doing everything and God's providing the food and God's going to provide the people that are going to show up. Even when I'm putting meat in a food pantry, God has ordained that place, that food pantry for me to put meat in, and
Mhm.
he's going to pick the people that are going to come in there. And it's nothing, it has nothing to do with me. And I think
Exactly.
until you get to that spot, like you're going to have struggles.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
got to that point where I started doing it and I realized this is my passion. This is my life goal. This is my legacy.
Yeah. And one thing about that is once you do your part, if the other person that comes and get it, if they for the wrong motive, that's between them and God, not
Yeah.
you. And one thing I like about you is a lot of people that feed people like homeless and stuff like that, they'll force them to sit down, try to preach to them and all that before they
Yeah.
feed them, knowing they hungry. So they feel handcuffed that they got to sit down and get religion forced on them. But
Yeah.
you do the reverse where you just feed them and they know you're a pastor. They'll come to you and say, hey, because you touched their heart and did something that other people wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And I love that you do that.
That's what like the Smoking Pastor Project came about from that. Like, obviously, I'm a pastor. I love to barbecue, love to smoke. Like, we just left it simple. So it's that been that catchy, fun thing on, especially on social media. People are like, "What you smoking, Pastor?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you." And what it's been fun is we don't like you're 100% right. We'll do these big events. We'll feed 1,000 people in a month and be like, hey, like we never people the church people a lot of hate on me. You don't get out there and preach and you take it. Man, you don't know the conversations that happen in the background, or you don't know the phone calls I get late at night from somebody that got fed and wasn't willing to open up at that point, but they're like, hey, I know a pastor that truly just loves me for who I am,
Mhm.
and then they reach out. And so there's tons of after stories that I mean, it would take hours to be able to share those with you. Of these, all I can do is cast seeds out there, and somebody else may water them, somebody else may harvest them, but I'm just throwing seeds everywhere I go.
Because you don't know how they touch their life. They don't know where
No.
that next meal is coming from, and
Yep.
you feel that need, and it may change their life forever.
And until you may be out there to try to fix the spiritual need, but until you can fix that physical need, that spiritual need is the least of their worries at that moment.
Because if I don't have a meal and I don't know where the meal coming from, I'm not gonna be receiving Christ,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take it the wrong way that you trying to force it on me to give me a meal. So
Yep. Exactly.
you doing things right. Tell me a little bit about the free food Fridays.
Yeah. So that's how a lot of this popped up is while I was trying to work a full-time job, while I was trying to do these events, like I was just getting tired, man. You know how it is. You work a full-time job and then you have this side hustle basically. I'm not making money. I'm
Mhm.
trying to just put meat on food tables. So what we decided is like and this was way before the food pantry stuff of us trying to do fully cooked prepackaged meat. We said we're just gonna do free food Fridays. 1 month, 1 week, it's probably gonna be like a civil service thing. So we've done a lot of fire stations, a lot of police stations, a lot of nursing homes, healthcare workers, like any of those kind of people, somebody that's out there, teachers, lots of schools. And then 1 week, we're just going to go hand out random acts of kindness, like to people on the street. And they may need it, they may not need it, but we're just going to hand out food. And so we started doing that. And so that's taken off. And then in this time now, even though my focus is gone from events, I'm planning 2 free food Fridays this Friday because it's still the heart of what we're doing.
When you hand somebody a plate who's had a rough week and who maybe didn't know where the next meal was coming from, what does it do to you when you see their face and see how they light
Mm.
up just because that act of kindness?
Man, that's just what changes the heart, man. It doesn't get old. And that goes from it being a homeless person on the street to a person that you know can afford the food is still that the act of food crosses all barriers. And seeing that smile of whether they're physically starving to death or they just haven't had anybody love on them in a long time
Hmm.
and they may be wealthy, it's that act of kindness that only Jesus can do because Jesus is changing that heart through that warm food.
Yeah.
But I will say there is nothing else like being in a cold spot and
Mhm.
handing out food to somebody that's truly cold and hungry, and we can at least fix one of those.
You're not just feeding people stomachs, you're feeding dignity. How do you think
Mm.
barbecue gives people hope in ways words can't sometimes?
Yeah, and that's something that we pride ourselves on. There's not much I say I have pride on, but we offer our best quality food to everybody. I had a lady today that was writing an article about something we're doing, and she's, "You mean you just put brisket in the food pantry?" I'm like, "Heck yeah!" And she's, "Wait a minute, isn't brisket like 6.99 a pound right now?" I'm like, "Yep." And I spent 24 hours cooking it, and I put $20 a seat to go through the whole thing. And she's like, "Nobody else does that." And I said, "Exactly. That's what sets us apart from anybody else. We're offering our best." So obviously, as this nonprofit is growing, I've had to figure out how to bring money in to keep this
Mhm.
thing going. And so we do a little bit of catering and we do some high-end catering. And what I can tell people is you may be at that fancy bougie gala, and I want you to know that same food I'm giving you on a plate that you're paying a bunch for, I'm putting that same meat in a food pantry. Because
Yeah.
we offer people our best. Everybody is our neighbor.
That's the another problem with food pantries because most people give away stuff that's laying in their cabinet that they don't want, stuff that's
Yeah.
expired. Instead of bringing something that they would eat, they're giving people anything, which is a bad representation because you might as well
Yeah.
not do it at all if you're giving somebody's trash,
Yeah.
and because you it's pretty
Well,
much just looking down on people.
yep, well, that's where this meat thing has really taken hold now of, man, if I could just tell you stories of the and not knocking any company, big name companies that you would know,
Mhm.
man, like I'll go in a food pantry and it'll look like perforated dog meats, what they're sending these food pantries and expecting them to do something with it. Like it's let alone that they're gonna maybe not have the means to cook it, not know how to cook it, but now they got to cook something that I wouldn't even touch, wouldn't even feed to my dog. Like
Yeah.
that is that's what we think of people, like, that's horrible, and that's really why people ask, "Why does it have to be cooked meat?" I can make sure I'm putting a quality product on the table, and somebody doesn't have to think about cooking it. We
Mhm.
talk a lot today about we're moving into a little bit of, like, full meal prep, and people are like, "Why are you getting in that full meal prep?" If you get a person off the street that's homeless, they're moving into being given a job. The first debate they have, actually the second debate, the number one is they gotta have clothes to wear to work. Number
Mhm.
two is how are they gonna pay for lunch every day? And so if we can do those kind of things and take that stress off them, then they're truly having a rebound time of getting back on their feet.
That'll motivate them to try to succeed because just giving them a piece of meal really ain't doing anything for them because
No.
vegetables and all this other stuff that
Yeah.
goes with it, it means a lot that people have a whole meal and not trying to, like a lot of people will give them a little portion instead of letting people eat and until they're full
Yeah.
and enjoy themselves and be satisfied. Because at the moment, what a lot of people going through, they need little small things that bring joy to them to let them know that people care. Let them
Yeah.
know that hey, I can make it. And by you coming there with your positive attitude and them getting stuff like brisket, most of them probably haven't had real brisket.
Not no
La-
Texas brisket for sure.
Last time they had ribs or anything like that, and
Yeah.
it makes them feel special and not just having hot dogs or any thing that's just thrown together because it's easy to take the easy way out, but it what you're doing, it takes time to prep that. You got to put a lot of time into cooking it, the sides and everything like that. And I'm
Yep.
pretty sure you still work a full-time job besides doing this.
Yep. And that's what I still get amazed in the comment you just made. Like, people don't understand the quality part. Like, we were cooking, I think, for the WNBA when the WNBA was here in Indy
Mhm.
last year. They did a lot of like girls' skills camps, underprivileged girls' skills camps. I went and fed all the girls, and Miss what's her name? Miss Chantel Anderson, big NBA player, WNBA. I'm 6'4". That girl, I came to her shoulder. I don't know how tall she is. She tall. But she came by and she's like, "Wait a minute. I thought you were just serving grilled cheese." And she's like, "When we do grilled cheese, we're doing Texas toast. We're doing three kinds of cheese. I'm putting either pulled pork, brisket, or chicken on that barbecue sauce, like garlic butter. We're layering that thing up." She's like, "I want one of those." And she's like, "I can't believe this is what the quality of what you're giving away for free." She goes, "I serve downtown on Skid Row every now and then. I see that stuff, and that's not what's being served in my homeless community." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what God has allowed us to do through awesome sponsors and donors. That's how we're able to do what we're doing." And so we still stay in contact, all because of grilled cheese sandwich.
That's excellent. Let's talk about the trailer being stolen.
Yeah.
When that happened, how what was your reaction? Were you like, God, why me? Or did you know this might have been part of the plan to see how
No,
you handle it? Or
I
I
can't even. It almost is like one of those like PTSD blackout moments still for me of I was at an event. So the trailer was parked at our church, which is like right on a highway, but very secure spot. Not in a bad part of town, even. Not great, but not bad. And I was doing an event, and all of a sudden I just looked up, and I was with our youth pastor, and I just started crying. He's like, "What is wrong?" I was like, "My trailer is gone." And I was just broken, just totally broken. And I think for weeks I thought the trailer was gonna come back. They ended up finding the trailer all chopped up. State trooper called me late one night and he's, "Dude, we've all drew straws. Nobody wanted to call you. Nobody wanted to call you."
wow.
And I had to go identify, check the numbers, go to the impound lot, and the trailer's sitting like totally sideways, all of it stripped out, nothing left inside. And the guy's like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "No, I don't want this. It's not worth anything to me." And honestly, like I was really at a moment. I was not in a good spot spiritually or mentally at that point. And it took some weeks to figure out, okay, God, like I know you are in control. I don't understand this, but I also know that if it's my will, the trailer we'd be rolling in it right now. So this has got to be your will. and I don't understand it, but I'm in it. And I think that was the day when everything changed for me. Okay, God, like I'm not chasing my dream. I've said a lot that I think for a little while, both in ministry over 20 years and in this, that I was chasing a platform, not
Mhm.
obedience. Like there's been a lot of times where I'm like, man, I'm chasing that 100K followers, or I'm chasing that whatever. And all of a sudden it was like one day I was just like, all right, God, like this is your plan. I just am along for the ride. Take me where you want to go. And since then, it's been like no regrets. And the food, haven't thought about the trailer a bunch. Like stuff like this brings it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, we had it. It's gone. Like no big deal now. But there for a while, it was bad. And I think now seeing how that trailer allowed me to get to a step, but it also built some networking things that I
Mhm.
needed. And now I'm still the guy that let us use that trailer. I'm still really good friends with him. Think about that. That dude loaned us a trailer that we were going to pay off in 5 years, didn't give him a dime. I lost his trailer and we're still buddies. That's the only guy.
And from what I heard, I think I heard on another podcast that you went and bought all the supplies again after
Yeah.
that happened, or with your
Yeah.
own money.
With my own money. So my wife and I probably to date, we always laugh because I don't do money well of as far as I'm to spend our money. So I think we probably spent about 25 grand of our money to get just to where back where I could do what I needed to do. And so we luckily only had one small smoker in there,
Mhm.
and some warmers, and we lost a lot of knives, a lot of equipment stuff, like base model stuff. So doing that and then trying to get to that next level, we've obviously had to buy more and more equipment, but we still are probably 40% funded by the public and 60% by us personally.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's crazy.
That's a
After that
pastor salary, y'all.
happened, and after that happened, you entered a barbecue competition and won the people's champion. What did that mean
Yeah,
after you
so
lost everything?
that was pretty cool. That was one of the moments where it was like, all right. And God really showed at that day that, man, there's part of this that I think at some point, and I still see a little bit of this every day
Mhm.
of, hey, you're getting to have fun doing this, and I want you to pastor these barbecue people. And so that was the day that like it turned from, I'm not gonna say a job, 'cause some of this has been felt like a job. Some of it, I'm not great at a lot of the scheduling stuff, so it's felt like work. That
Mhm.
was the day where this is a passion and a joy, and it brings me more joy than anything else in life.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like you said, speaking to the barbecue people, just because you're out there with the barbecue people, you don't have to do what they do. You can have fun
Nah.
without drinking. You can have fun without
Yeah.
being around cigarettes and all that other stuff and not feel awkward or anything. But a lot of people admire that you have that restraint and they actually look up to you, and you'll see a lot of them come to you for real life advice. And it means a lot because a lot of what women don't know is when guys get around each other, they're we actually talk to each other and tell what's going
Yeah.
on truly with each other because we don't have to feel like we're being judged sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of us go through the same thing. And like you say, iron sharpens iron. So when we get around
Yeah.
each other, it helps sharpen each other and motivate each other, and it changes lives. Tell me about the partnership that you had with Helping His Hands. How
Yeah.
did that come about?
That actually started, through a mutual friend, I met a guy named Ryan,
Hmm.
and so they do disaster relief, big time disaster relief. So any big disaster in the East, especially East Coast or Midwest, they are the predominant big leader in that. And
Hmm.
so I met him through a friend, and he told me one day, he's, what do you need to get this thing off the ground? And that's when I was trying to figure out a trailer. I was like, man, I really feel like I'm supposed to have a trailer to do these events. And he's like, just so happens we have one. So it started with a trailer discussion, but what we didn't know is that by me going to look at the trailer, I ended up going and doing my first Free Friday food event. I went and fed a bunch of prisoners that were on a work release, stocking a food pantry at their facility. And I
Oh,
fed
wow.
those guys food, and that's where a lot of this just really took off. I was like, man, this was so much joy, so much fun. I drove 2.5 hours to do this event. And the whole way back, I just called my wife and I was like, I want to do this every day for the rest of my life. Like,
Yeah.
this is what we're supposed to be doing. And so that friendship really evolved into, that dude was with me at that first barbecue competition. He's been with me at three barbecue competitions since then. I've went and fed their whole town that had a huge tornado came through. and they had a bunch of people come do all the cleanup. We went and fed everybody. I've done a fundraiser for them. Like, it's just been a great friendship and partnership with them.
That's excellent. And plus, when y'all going to feed prisoners, it you never know how that changes their lives because
Oh yeah.
most people gonna be standoffish because oh you're in
Yep.
jail and all that, and some of them need a second chance. Some of them made mistakes and they learn their lesson. So being able
Yeah.
to be treated like that and a decent meal, it goes a long way with them.
Sure.
You do fundraisers, you sell your own sauces and rubs, building from the ashes. When people donate, volunteer, or even just share your posts, does that feel like God's way of saying, keep going? I got you.
The sauce and seasoning, like I always say, I'm not in the sauce and seasoning world. I love it, but it's what it's done has been it's been, I say, a business card that opens doors. And
Mhm.
so a lot of times you can make it somebody's day too. I'll always almost, if you all see me out in public, usually I have sauce and seasoning in my truck and I love giving it away because what that does, that just shares a little bit of hope and it shares who what we're trying to do. So on all my seasoning bottles has a QR code that tells the story of what we're doing at the nonprofit. And so people get that QR code, they scan it, they're like, "Hey, we get to find out all about the Smoking Pastor Project and what you're doing." So I
Yeah.
love that part, but the videos and stuff has been pretty cool. Especially like on TikTok's been. I tell creators, you got to find your platform. TikTok's been my platform. We do a lot on TikTok, but what it's found is TikTok has been, for as good as it's been for me as a nonprofit, as a creator, it's been good for me mentally because there's a whole barbecue world on TikTok that has just blown up, especially in the last little bit. And at any given time, I do a lot of lives, and there'll be some big name people in those lives. And you just realize that these dudes that we look up to in the barbecue world, man, they're just normal people and they have a passion for barbecue, but they also have a passion for people. I've been getting connected real close with Tyrone Matthews from, he was on Netflix. Yeah. So me and
Mhm.
him have gotten close. Just we exchanged cell phone numbers, had a couple calls now. And like, I always looked up to that dude. Now, man, we're talking about doing an event together. That's what the barbecue community is all about.
And just like you said, doing this, I've ran across people I'd never thought I have or have met and numbers in my phone where I'm like, I've seen these folks on TV.
Yep.
It's ridiculous to support, like you say, TikTok. I wasn't really big into TikTok. I actually started this in June and I was on the fence about it. And I went to Memphis in May and met some connections there. And I'm like, okay, I got to get this started. So I started
Yep.
in June and all the way up to now, it's like so many people had came on to do interviews and it's like amazing because you would think that why would they come on here and talk to me? And God say, why
Uh-huh.
not? Why not? Because
Yep.
you gotta even though you're not out there all the time with them, but you have an angle that's different from everybody else. And if
Yeah.
you do like I told you to, everything go as planned. And I try to show people how important these people I'm bringing on are and try to promote, like I promote what you do, promote what others do to show that it is there's a whole bunch of avenues for people.
Yeah.
There's not just one lane when it comes to barbecue. There's a whole expressway. If you choose to
Yep.
do like you do, or if you choose to do a restaurant or a season rub or anything like that, it you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. God gonna give you your own lane, and when He blesses that, nobody else can do anything to that. So,
Yeah. Yep.
what you're doing, people might think you're giving away, but on the flip side, you setting yourself up for later in life because God got you for the hard work that you're gonna do, what you're
Oh
doing
yeah.
now.
And then, and not, it's not even about that. It's that you're building a lot. So my oldest son, I have an 18-year-old senior in high school.
Hmm.
He's wanting to do culinary. And the other day he was like, Dad, like what? He's like, you're doing the hard work for me. What if God's plan is you're building this platform and I get to run with it? And I'm like, yeah, what about that?
That's what hit you right here when you hear your kids saying
Yeah.
that, and yet you're actually influence on them, and it, it's I don't even know what to say about that. That's
And that's what's been funny with
that's you right
TikTok
here.
is, yeah, and what's been fun is like watching my kids' world be changed, like all because of TikTok, because all their friends follow me. And then on Sunday, so we do, if you follow us, we do a Sunday night live cooking shows. Usually we have a lot of people that watch our cooking stuff on Sunday nights. Now all my friends, all my kids' friends, they want to come over to our house on Sunday night because they know the smoking pastor and his wife are cooking, and they know they're gonna get some of that food. And so our house has been this hot spot now. And these kids, we're in a town where all their friends, way nicer houses, way bigger places, way better stuff. They come to our house and they're like, "Hey, we want to come there because we're welcomed, we have fun, we get fed, and we just get to laugh with Jordan and Katie, Smoking Pastor and Katie." And it's been fun to watch like my kids realize like what God has done has impacted their lives just as much too.
Let's talk about a little bit about your rub and your sauces. Can you explain a little bit about them so people can know your products?
Yes. So we got a sweet rub, really good on pork and chicken. It's just called everything we have is stuff. So I'm pretty generic sweet stuff. We have a saucy stuff, but our big thing is our peach barbecue sauce. And actually, I think I have one bottle laying around here somewhere. We're totally out, and we actually just redid our peach sauce. It will be hitting the stores in about 10 days with a brand new addition. So we switched from a peach extract to a peach pureed peaches.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pumped because I literally right before we got on here, I had 4 chicken legs with this new sauce because they sent me a sample bottle and I can't put it down. It's so good. But what we say is it's not about the sauce and rub. We don't even the stuff we've been having out, we don't even make. Like we just been white labeling stuff. We just found products that we were able to speak, we were able to do what we wanted with. But for us, it's all about getting in. So God had opened that door. We're in Ace Hardwares, we're in some butcher shops, we're in some local stores. And what's turned into is it's gave us a voice in those worlds. So we first started putting stuff in Ace Hardware. Now, like I am the brand spokesman for all our local Ace stuff. I just filmed turkey videos tonight for them. 5 things not to do this turkey season. And so what that's done is they Ace Hardware now has uplifted this brand Smoking Pastor Project. What they don't know is what that it's doing is it's putting that nonprofit brand out there so much. And
Mhm.
so that's been just a blessing of the sauce and seasonings. And I didn't think I was going to be do it very long. I thought it was just going to be a short run just to get our name out there. But people trust what we put out. So that's why we're trying to amp up, switching co-packers, switching who we're doing stuff with, and just trying to put out the best product, obviously, because we're putting out the best food. Want to be putting out that best product. And so I think there's also that thing of a lot of the guys in the barbecue world, if they're
Mm.
going to buy a base pork or chicken rub, why not buy it from us? So what happens is I have a donor that buys all of this for us. So every dollar goes to the nonprofit. So if you're going to buy a chicken rub, you're spending $10, $10 goes in the nonprofit. That's going to put 3 pounds of meat in food pantries. So every bottle has a story, is what I'm trying to start really promoting. Is I didn't think I was going to run with this, but I think it's something cool. And obviously, like we haven't talked about, but I just quit my job. I just resigned. I have till March to figure out how we're going to boost this nonprofit world where one, somehow I'm going to get paid. I don't even know. I don't even care at this point. We're going to keep putting meat in food pantries. Me is the last thing. But if the sauce and seasoning can help do that, then we're going to run with it. And so we're going to try to build a brand. And who knows, Smoking Pastor brand, there could be smoking pastors. My goal is to have smoking pastors everywhere that are just
Mhm.
people that are smoking meat and putting it in food pantries. And then we can keep that brand the same, the quality the same by putting that same sauce and that same seasoning, no matter a nationwide thing. Because then if it gets so big and if one day you've got a packing facility, FDA packing facility that we're helping pay for, we're paying you to pack meat. We know that every pork, every chicken, every brisket is going to taste the same based on our sauce and seasoning. So it's something that I'm realizing like maybe part of this model that's growing.
Yeah, and the more you talk about it, the more you inspire other people that may be on the fence about doing it, and also they'll reach out to you and, okay, can you give me some tips on how you doing this or
Yeah.
how you doing that? And
Yeah.
that's your new ministry. So
Yeah.
God got you. I know
Well,
he do.
well, I love the fact that we were talking to a guy today. This what's this guy? Grand Old Oaks Barbecue. Guy sent me a rub. I get rubs and sauces sent all the time for me to do reviews or me to try. This dude, this stuff is amazing. And I was talking to him. I said, there's so many family secrets. Everybody's bought into these big name barbecue brands, which is great. But like, where's those old school family secrets? Get that
Mhm,
stuff out there. Tell your family story. I don't know if you follow, like, there's a mustard company, Pilsudski, that a bunch of guys are on right now.
mhm.
I forget what, 1977, I think is when they started create their first mustard. That's a legacy that can be carried on in the barbecue world. Kennedy barbecue sauce. That's a great dude. I was just on the phone with a little bit ago. Is getting this a family secret out. Tell the every sauce, every rub can have a story. Let's tell those stories.
And that's another reason why I do this, to shine the light on people that don't get that exposure like other people. We hear about all the other brands, but there's so many
Yeah.
brands out there, and people deserve a chance to show their product
Yep.
and what they have, because they're just as good as the other products out
Oh
there,
yeah.
some even better. But
I was gonna say,
they,
let's be honest, man. A lot of this small batch stuff is
Mhm.
way better. And it's sad that it's such a, if you'd say, cutthroat world of trying to get on a shelf. Like it took me a while to get on a shelf, and then I got on one shelf, and to get to the next shelf, I thought was gonna be easier. No, it's just as much work to get on that second shelf. And so people they're losing that battle, and they just get frustrated. And what they got a great product, they just don't have they just don't know how to market the story. So I love picking up people sending me stuff and being able to do a 2-minute video and say, hey, go check out this company. They're amazing.
And you're using your platform to help somebody else,
Yeah.
and then somebody use their platform to help you. It just
It's full
playing it
circle.
forward. It means a lot to people. Where, like I said, I don't have followers like some of the big time people, but I want to bring people on, because you never know where I'm going to be in the next 3, 4, 5 years. But I want to, then people will start seeing it and recognizing it, and trying different products that are
Hmm.
outside the store, and even know that, okay, a lot of people might not know Ace have a awesome barbecue section,
Yeah.
and
And I say a lot of times, like, no matter how big you are, like, if I can help you and then you can help me, we're both
Mhm,
building together. But also, if you've got 10,000 followers and I have 10,000 followers, your 10,000 aren't my 10,000. So I'm building a huge network with you and you're getting a huge network from me. Then all
mhm,
of a sudden, we're both growing organically and we're reaching different populations than we can reach on our own. And so if you can partner with one of these companies, even if they're way bigger than you, or for me, like I've been blessed that I've got to a point where there's some of the guys I am bigger than. I don't want to just take off and run. I want to help them get a hand
mhm,
up from and take them with me. Like how can we grow together? Not how can
exactly,
I run faster than you?
exactly. And if, like I said, if I have 10,000 followers and I'm not touching nobody and changing their lives, it means nothing. As well as it, if every episode I bring out, you know who the person that I bring on, I'm doing something wrong, because I want people
Yeah.
that you haven't heard of, that in a small town, that's trying
Yep.
to get their product out or showcase what they're doing in their city. There's so many people. Like, I interviewed one guy, he's a griller, but he has one arm. I told him to come on, tell your story, tell what happened,
Yeah.
tell how you still are barbecuing and despite what happened, and motivate other people with disabilities to show that, okay, this doesn't stop what I'm doing, because the fire within me, and I love barbecue and my craft so much that I'm going to keep trying. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do out there.
I
Just
love it. And that goes back to what you just said. Like I think people need to hear that if you're trying to grow on social media, you're not the one growing. It's the people that are around you or who's growing you. We were blessed. We hit 10,000 on TikTok pretty quick. It
oh.
wasn't because of anything I did. It was because there's a whole bunch of people that grew that surrounded me and
Mhm.
realized what we were doing. And they're like, we want to promote you. So I'd pop in rooms and these big name guys are like, oh, Smoke a Pastor's in the room. Everybody go follow him. That it wasn't anything I did. It wasn't that my content sucks. Like it's not that great. It's that these people bought into not me, they bought into what we're doing, which is really they're buying into God. They just don't know it.
Mhm. Your kids, you got one?
I got 3 boys, man.
Oh wow, what's the ages?
18, 15, and 9.
Oh wow, I got two girls. I got 18 months and 9-year old, and I'm 49.
Oh, bless you, brother.
I just got married 2 years ago, so
Oh yeah, man. It's a ride, man. It's a ride.
yeah, it was pretty much my life was work, home, church, work, home, church, work, home, church, and then I finally got married, and life has just been totally different then, because having that partner to push and motivate you and tell you can do it, and rub you on your
Yeah.
back and know how you operate when you're frustrated and stuff like that, it it, it makes the world a difference. Where there was times for the first 48 years where I was by myself and I was just there myself trying to figure out, okay, am I going to do this? Am I going to compete? Am I going to
Mhm.
do this? And I'm on the fence about doing everything. And once she came along, it's like everything just changed and momentum hit, and it was so wonderful. So speaking of that, let's talk about your wife, Katie, because we're gonna give her
Yeah.
props. Behind every pit master with a vision is somebody holding the line when things get tough. What role has she played in keeping this dream alive?
Oh man, she's all of it. This was definitely, I always say I feel bad. A lot of times she works a full-time job. She's got so much going on, and so she doesn't get to be a part of a lot of stuff. But she's as much of the founder of Smoking Pastor Project as I am. Our goals, it's so funny, but we met actually in a college class and we were laying out a timeline of ministry long term, and both of us were just on the same page. So as we got married, our
Mhm.
goal has always been to run a nonprofit. We thought it was going to be like a bed and breakfast to get like pastors to rehab or recoup and rest. And what's turned into is okay, even if that, so if this is the plan, if it's shifted and this is the plan, could the barbecue nonprofit eventually help fund the bed and breakfast? Who knows? But it's just been like that dream of us doing something together forever has always been part of the dream. And so
Mhm.
it's so fun just watching day to day how even today we were just like, man, someday, because I'm not a detailed person. Like I don't write anything down. I don't have a calendar. I literally like people laugh, but I tell the story all the time. Like the way I do my day, is how I remember this today is I'll Google today's date on my like calendars or on my emails and realize what I said yes to. That's how bad I am. My wife for years has been an admin to VPs at corporate level. Like she's the most detailed person in the world. And she's, you frustrate me so much. I said, but I need you. So we've talked so much about how someday she'll be able to help more and give up that full-time job. And our goal, obviously, the smoking pasture is so big that multiple employees.
That person behind you is like I said numerous times on this show that my wife is just as much as barbecue therapy as I am because right now while
Mhm.
I'm down here, she's up there with the kids, and
Yep.
it's just as important as what I'm doing down here because she's allowing me to reach other people, and she don't have to, but she wants to, and she's supporting my dream like I support hers, and
Yep.
just working with each other and ministering to each other, encouraging
Yep.
each other, and praying for each other, all that, it means a lot because if you don't have that person supporting you, and just like when your trailer got stolen, if she would have came on, I told you, that's why I told you not to do that, and
Yeah.
this and that, that would have broke your momentum even worse than what you were feeling at that time. But I
Yeah.
guarantee you, she was like, "Hey, I'm sorry this happened. We're gonna get them next time. We're not gonna give up." And that motivation means a lot coming from the person that you know, the only person
Oh
that
yeah.
really, yeah, that's there for you.
Yeah. We talk about too, like she's as much of the brand as me. Like, man, shoot, our I can put out videos all week long and add up all the views. And when she does a live with me on Sunday night, we get more views because she's there. That's what I love about it. Like, but I think it also shows like what true marriage looks like and true
Mhm.
partnership, and we're in it together no matter what. So the good days, the bad days, the days where today when I don't know how I got asked to do 150 turkeys here in a couple of weeks, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for them. We figure it out together. It's not my problem. It's not her problem. We got this because we know God's got us. And so you're able to have that conversation of like, all right, let's be on the
Mhm.
same page on this prayer time because we got to figure out how to go buy 150 turkeys. And turkeys ain't cheap this year.
You fed thousands for free. You lost, rebuilt, and kept that fire burning. What keeps you showing up every morning, even when it's hard?
I think just the opportunity of every day in my prayer. So my prayer when I leave my house every morning is God expand your territory and
Mhm.
let me just be along for the ride. So having that prayer going into it every day of I did a meeting at 1 o'clock today that wasn't even on the books this morning, and it probably is going to do two things. I'm going to be able to stock a food pantry with probably thousands of pounds in the next 6 weeks. But I
Wow.
also opened up a whole new door of a network that I didn't even know existed that truly is the least of these. And so just knowing that every day God's going to open some door, it may not be a financial door for us, but it may be an opportunity that I get to walk through. And it's just a smile on the face of I came home from that meeting today and I got twice as much work. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. I don't know how any of this is going to work out, but I was so excited because I found a group that is getting no government support, no state support, no local support, and they need help. And I have the ability to
Mhm.
help them.
If you could speak directly to the person listening right now who's tired, maybe questioning their own purpose, what would you say to them?
I'd say you gotta find so for me, barbecue started at you gotta find joy outside your job. What is that for you? If it's not barbecue, if it's not cooking or pastries or whatever that is, what can you physically go out and do that's joy outside your job? And that's where I think a lot of times we're like, oh man, you gotta go find God, find no, you gotta go find something that's gonna bring you joy because that is gonna show you who God really is. It's gonna show you how much God loves you and who he wants you to be. And you're when you find that joy.
And it means a lot because I had to talk to my wife about that because I told her she need to find a hobby, something that relaxes her and something sometimes you ain't got to put much thought into it. She was talking about my hobby is reading and learning. And I was like, that's not a hobby. You need
That's
something
funny.
to do. And then she realized she got back into tennis because she used to play tennis, and now she finds that as a getaway to relax and decompress. And I like I say,
Yep.
everybody got needs to find something that they'll do for free. And like I said, like you doing that for free. I'm doing this for free, and it feels good to decompress. And it's therapy. Like tennis is her
Yeah, it
therapy.
really is.
You just got to find what's your thing. And
Well, and I think it all goes back to community too. You're building community through this. She's building probably community through tennis. But even if it is, if you are, I'm gonna say that nerdy person, and that's okay. Like it's books, but are you doing a book club? Or are you going and reading books together? Like, what are you doing to be around people that are
Mhm.
like-minded, that have the same values as you? That's what, like, for me, I'm able to do that every day. And so what seems like to some is I'm just a workaholic. Man, I'm just living in my passion and living in my joy.
And lastly, what's next for the Smoking Pastor project? What are your dreams for the next few years?
Yeah, obviously our goal is to be the largest producer of fully cooked prepackaged meat, and I do have a national goal. My goal right now, like short term, long term, I'm actually writing a grant tonight. I found out an hour ago that I was eligible to write a grant for some money, and so I've been just kind of laying out what's that look like. But in the next 6 months, my goal is to be in 50 food pantries. In the next 6 years, my goal would be in 500 food pantries. And that's global. I'd love for it to be global in 20 years or 10 years or whatever. God can speed that up, God can slow that down. But our goal is just to be in the moment. If I'm planning an event on Friday, but I have an event tomorrow, then tomorrow is the most important event on the books because I
Mhm.
can be in that moment tomorrow. So our whole thing is just, man, we're just riding this wave. We don't know what God's going to do. We don't know how we're going to pay for it. We are. I'm not good at asking for money, and so all of a sudden, it's man, I got to get out of my comfort zone, and because it's not me asking for money, it's people are going to be blessed by giving to where we can do the things we're supposed to do.
Like I said, God will get you. He'll
Oh yeah,
take
he's got
care
it.
of you. So
Yep,
you do
yep.
your part and he'll do his part. All right. I got a quick game I'm gonna play with you and then I'll
All
get you
right,
out of here. In college basketball, they have a tournament bracket. So what I came up with was a tournament bracket with 16 meats that you cook on the grill. I'm gonna read each matchup. Just tell me which one you prefer to eat, and we'll see which one's the winner.
all
All
right.
right. First matchup: smoked bologna versus hamburger.
I just did smoke bologna. I'm not a fan, man. Hamburger.
Yeah, too.
I think I made mine too sweet. I gotta try it again. I think I made it too sweet. I didn't burn ends. It wasn't good.
All right, sausage versus pork chops.
Oh, pork chops, 100%.
That's my favorite. All right,
Hmm.
brisket versus a hot dog.
Oh, brisket. Brisket's my love language.
All right, pork belly versus smoked ham.
Oh, that's a hey, that one right there. That's a sweet 16, man. That ain't no first round. Man, pork belly,
Okay, beef ribs versus smoked turkey.
beef ribs.
All right, barbecue shrimp versus lamb.
Ooh,
Okay, burnt ends versus pork ribs.
burn ends.
Okay, steak versus smoked chicken.
I'm a smoked chicken fan.
All right, next round is hamburger versus pork chops.
Pork chops.
All right, and brisket versus let's see, pork belly. Okay, and beef ribs versus lamb.
Beef ribs.
Okay, And burnt ends versus chicken. And final four, pork chop versus brisket.
Pork chop,
Okay. And beef rib versus chicken.
beef ribs.
Right. And finals is pork chop versus beef ribs.
Man, I judge a good steakhouse by pork chop, man. I want that big old thick center cut pork chop. That's the way I design good barbecue right there. Define it.
Yeah, I love pork chop.
Oh, pork chops. And I tell you, ain't no knock but turkey, man. You can tell a good barbecue restaurant if they can make some smoked turkey.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Pork chops is the winner. All right, Jordan, your therapy session is over. And before I give you a chance to do your shout outs and stuff, I just want to tell everybody out there to definitely check him out, support him. Anything that you can to do, help him do it. If you got a box of napkins or forks or anything, you never know what you can do to help, even if it's straws or anything, plates or
Mm.
anything. If you have anything that can help, even just your time, just definitely reach out to him and support him because he's doing a great thing out there. And we want to see it successful. And all those that also have a dream of doing what he's doing, please reach out to him if you have any
Yeah.
questions, and he'll walk you through how to do everything because he's went through it. So he's going to cut the cost of time by telling you how to do it so you won't make mistakes and go through some of the things he had to go through. At this time, if you want to give your website and plug anything, you can
Yeah.
definitely do that.
Yeah, go check us out, smokingpastorproject.com. And then we're on almost all social media platforms, just at Smoking Pastor out of all of them. And I would just say, man, barbecue world, nobody's an expert, everybody's a learner. Ask questions. That's my favorite part. And man, thanks for doing this. That's what it's about. Like it's the therapy part of asking questions, learning from each other. Like I said, ain't nobody an expert in barbecue. Everybody's got their way to do it.
I definitely appreciate you sharing your time, sharing your story, and coming on
Yeah.
and speaking to the people and telling them what you do and what you're about. And I just definitely wish you the best in everything that you're doing. And I'm gonna definitely keep up with you. Also, I follow you and watch you and everything you do. So just keep it up. Your efforts are not going in vain.
Thank you. You too, man. Keep it up. I like this.
I'm definitely trying, and I'm gonna keep moving. Not gonna give up, and
Yeah,
just keep reaching as many people as possible. All right. And
for
on that
sure.
note, everybody, we thank you for watching another episode of Barbecue Therapy. Enjoy your day. We just wrapped up another session of Barbecue Therapy. Remember, stay patient, stay passionate, and keep that fire burning. Hit subscribe, share the good smoke, and pay the secretary on your way out. Have a blessed day.